Okay, so this would be slightly different than the usual feedback slash critique. This is going to be for misfitz04. Normally, I was going to watch your video and, be like, hey, point out these areas, but it feels like you're really brand new to the whole Tekken thing. Like you know a little bit, but not a lot. It's just kind of like, I don't know. There's just not much to say because there's so much room to go. Oh, introductions. So I go by Shazam on the Discords. I don't think you're in any other character Discords I'm in. Anyway, look, I am by no means a Tekken professional, right? I'm just someone who enjoys a lot of Tekken, plays a lot of Tekken, watches a lot of Tekken, and also a lot of Feng, right? I am not here to tell you, hey, follow my steps to success, and you will become a professional in this crazy amount of time. It's just going to be, hey, based on my understanding of the game and how me playing it, here are some basic concepts, and here are some things that I've noticed that may or may not help you out, and just try to provide you some direction, some food for thought, right? Take what I say into consideration, but take it with a grain of salt. I'm not here to give you the 20 steps to success here. I'm just trying to point out some things that be like, hey, here's how Tekken works at a mechanical level. If you understand these concepts and you understand how your character interacts with them, you'll be able to most important is learn faster, develop faster, and then B, you'll be able to kind of infer things naturally, right? It's like when you go to school and when you just regurgitate what you memorize, that doesn't help anybody, right? You're good at memorizing things. You can memorize that, a jab is 10 frames or something. But if you instead understand the theory of like why a 10 frame jab is so powerful, or why Fang 1-2 is so good, right? This little approach right here. This is honestly I always like underestimate it, but it really surprises me like how good this tool is. But why these tools are powerful, right? Anyway, I'm gonna try and give you a quick baseline, and because there's so much to cover, and and as cool as it would be, is like I wish I could cover everything for everybody. It is also just as detrimental because then next thing you know, you're trying to do 9 million things, right? So let me give you some direction. Where you are at currently in Tekken, you kind of have two branching pathways to go on, right? There is the short-term quick investment of I'm going to figure out what my character's gimmicks are and then overwhelm my opponent. And then there is the I'm going to try and like learn the game at a very fundamental level and slowly build it up, right? It's going to take longer to see results with the whole, let me do all this research, let me learn all this shit, right? It is much faster and easier to just go, let me spam down back 3 a lot as Fang, down back 3, what's the new one? Back 1, easy flow chart, what's another one? That's too easy. 4-3-4, it get blocked, alright, let me just press 1+2, right? It is very easy to kind of like, I will just overwhelm my opponent with offense, right? And it's not a bad thing, but it's like, if you start sticking with flowcharts, if you just focus on I'm gonna overwhelm with offense, I'm just gonna press this a bunch because nobody at my ranks knows how to deal with it, and then you find someone who does, right? Or you don't really know how to use a jab, you don't know how to use back 4, you don't know how to really use down 4, right? Any of these other tools, and if you throw out like random shoulders, you build up bad habits that'll become very difficult to break, right? I don't know what type of player you are. I also don't know how much you want to invest into this game, right? It's much easier for me to say like, do all these hours of practice and learn all this shit because I'm already deep in here, right? I'm already very invested in the game and I enjoy the game a lot. I don't know you as a person. I don't know if you want to dedicate all these hours and get good at Tekken in just at an acceptable degree, right? But I'm just going to lay out a basic structure and you decide how much investment you want to put in, right? So I'm not going to talk about the matchup with your king. The basic thing about your king is, I'll talk a little bit about that, but the first thing I'm going to talk about is some quick like outlines for improvement. Number 1, understand how to control your character, right? A lot of Tekken comes about like punishment and combos and all this other stuff. When I watched your video with the king, I'll see like you get a basic part of the combo stop and then it like drops here, right? Or you try to do like the hard stuff or whatever. At the start, I would not recommend trying to do like these 4-4 delay. I don't even bother. Oh, I did it. Nice. That's crazy. I don't recommend it, right? I mean, granted, I don't really main Feng. I just kind of dabble in him. All you need is hop kick, screw. Oh, right as I said that. Screw, 4-3-4, jab, and then down forward 3 probably, right? So hop kick, boop. Alright, so I did a 60 damage combo, and obviously I can do a lot more. And I got to the wall because this has good wall carry, but it's also soup, but that's whatever. But the most important thing is, right, I've done this combo so many times where if I'm in the heat of the match, right, I realize I see the launch, all of this is happening automatically. I'm not thinking about the combo, I'm just doing it, right? It is ingrained into my muscle memory. Could I do more with my combo? Could I do like some fancy delay stuff, right? I could. Or I just do what's consistent. For you, at the start, I'd recommend just do the easy mode bread and butter combo. A bread and butter combo is something that is it is the best damage you're going to get for the easiest execution, right? Obviously, if I just really want... Oh my god, his hop kick sucks. If I really wanted damage, I could just do this, and then... Oh, cool, I got damage. But, you know... What's the word? Oh, I could do launch into shoulder. Easy. That is the easiest combo in the world, alright? But for just a little bit more execution, right, I am now getting more wall carry, getting more damage, and I even get like a wall combo if I wanted it, right? Granted, keep in mind this is Sook. It's very small. So you have to find a balance that's good for you, right? So this is why this stuff is called bread and butter, right? Super, very easy, very like simple, nothing complicated, very difficult to drop compared to his other routes. And just for every situation, what's his... I don't know what his full crouch... Ah, there we go. Okay, so like for every situation, I just think of a quick like whatever basic structure is, right? I don't even remember. Oh. Yeah, just very quick basic structure off of most routes, right? He doesn't have counter hit launchers. What does he have, right? He has this. I don't remember what the counter hit launcher... Oh, he has, boop. Oh. Oh. God, it's been forever. Is that not the pickup? Oh my god, I'm gonna embarrass myself. No. Oh my god, wait, is it actually not? Oh, that was it. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I kept trying to do all this dumb shit. God bless down forward 4-3. That shit's so good. Oh, whoops. Okay, so... But basically, off of the most important one is your normal hit launcher, right? Off of hop kick, you are going to figure out a combo that you can do off of every single hop kick launch you get, and you're not gonna fuck it up, right? Because if you fuck up, you're guaranteed damage. You are already losing the game, right? So, any of these combos, you can also look in the pinned messages on Discord. In the pinned messages, we have a video by Core Jam. He always gives you, here's the basic bread and butter combo, no nonsense, and here's the hard stuff that if you want to be like a cool kid, you can do, right? So for every situation, all right, you did sidestep 4. What's your combo off of that, right? And you see like how there are similarities. Both of my combos off of sidestep 4. Oh shit. Sidestep 4 and then hop kick are very similar. Forward 1 plus 2, sidestep, jab, down forward 4-3. Whoops. But you see how there's a similar structure. I use the same combo route wherever I can, and if I do need to specialize, like for example something like this, right? I'll do that, right? But the sooner you get that down into muscle memory, the better off you'll be. Combos are very easy to practice, they're very easy to do, and they will help, help your game out a lot, right? Now, that is just the first part of controlling your character. What else do I mean by that? I also mean that you have to remember your punishment, right? Punishment for Feng is very simple. You do 1-2-2 if you want, right? You can do 1-2-2 back if you want, so that way you do this, and then boom, now, ooh, look at all this fancy stuff, right? But, 1-2-2 is your 10-frame punisher, right? You can do 1-2 if you want, but there's not really a reason, right? If you have a -13 situation, you do shoulder. Anything at 15, you launch like this, right? And then crouching, you got while standing 4, while standing 2, 1-2, and then, while standing 3. Oh, look, it's the same combo route I've done on every single launcher, right? And it's the reason it's important to know those punishment situations is that you always want to... The punishment is guaranteed free damage. It is literally the opponent handing you a situation where you go, hey, press this button for easy damage, right? And then you do it. So you have to remember these situations. And that is also another aspect of your controlling your character. Because think about it. What is going to be easier to get damage from? These big launchers that you always throw out, right? Running up and doing hop kick in your opponent's face, right? Doing this move that's going to leave you -13. Or, quickly running around. Oh, my opponent whiffs something, 1-2, right? Dashing up, 1-2. Oh, dashing around. They whiff something, shoulder, right? These, jab, shoulder. What else? What is another one? He doesn't really have much place launch. While standing 1-2, while standing 4. These are less damage than a combo, but they are much easier to achieve, right? So you want to also be aware of those situations. Whiff punishment, block punishment, all that stuff. That is also a critical aspect of controlling your character. Even if you don't have the muscle memory built up, right? Even if you... Oh, he does have a delayed hop kick. That's so interesting. I just do this. Anyway, even if you don't have the muscle memory built up, it is important to understand what things are. Because let's say, okay, against King, he does his hop knee, right? Let me record. Repeat action, record. Okay. So you're facing against King, and all of a sudden you see this move. And let's say the first time you fight King, you get hit by it. You're like, man, that move's really annoying. You try to do a low, it gets stuffed, right? And then it's obviously not great. But then, after a while, you realize, oh, that move is -13, and now for the rest of your Tekken life, right? Tekken 7 life. If he presses that button, you get punish. See the punish there in the training mode, right? Guaranteed, right? Look at that. Wait, look at that fucking... Oh, wait. Oh, God. Look at that fucking horrible ass hit. Wait, can I stop with this stretch? God, this move sucks. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Now, and that's the important thing. It doesn't matter what character I'm facing, right? If once I learn stuff and I see, oh, this character has -13, shoulder, right? That way you don't waste time trying to do hop kick. You don't lose damage by doing jabs. You now know anytime you get met with a -13 situation, right? You just go shoulder. Easy. And then obviously, if you get fucking -15 situation, there's your launch. But these are very critical aspects to controlling your character, right? Now that's the second part of controlling your character. The third part, poking and all this other stuff. Oh, man. Okay, so with a lot of characters, it's difficult. Or it's very easy. You just learn what your jab is. You learn what your quick mid is. Fang's down forward 1. He also has back 4. Right? I want to learn what is my quick, fast, plus unblock option. Jab. I want to learn what is another plus unblock option. Course will go forward 1 plus 2. And I need like a quick low poke. Down 4. Or down back 3. I don't know if I call it a poke or power low, but whatever. Terminology gets thrown around a lot. And now like some basic options to start out with, right? A jab is very useful for disrupting your opponent. A low poke is good for creating pressure by, oh, my opponent's just stand blocking and holding back all day. All right, well, let me just start doing lows, right? Lows. This is an unparryable low. This is funny, right? Understanding your character's options, and the better you understand your character, the better off you'll be to It won't come right away. I remember as I was learning Feng, the problem with Feng is he just has too many fucking options. So it can be a bit overwhelming when you first start learning him, right? But then you quickly realize, like, okay, I have all these lows I can do, so many options, all this crazy stuff, and you just quickly you slowly add them to your arsenal, right? But they are important. Understanding like why back 4 is so good, why having a 12 frame mid is so good. That's basically homing, right? Why down back 3 is so good. This is pretty obvious, right? I guess I shouldn't say it's pretty obvious because I don't know how long you've been playing Tekken, right? But you know, having something that, you know, high crushes, unseeable, decent damage, counter hit property. This thing does so much fucking damage. You know, it sets up a lot of stuff. Oh god, forward 3. Oh, I fucking love this move. You want to talk about? All right, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Anyway, Fang's really fun. Look, you learn your combos so that way when you actually get these in a match, because it'll happen, right? You'll always have consistent damage. You're not going to be starting losing out damage by dropping it like I did at the end there, right? And that way the less stuff you drop, the easier your life will be, right? It might not seem like a lot. Like, let's say, ooh, I dropped the combo at a less pace, right? Ooh, I dropped it there. But the combos, when was the combo stop? So I dropped it at 47. That's still respectable damage. But now look at it this way. So if I drop it here, like you drop some combos against the king match, it's not the worst. I still got decent damage. I still got some good hits in, and he's pretty close to me. So now I can do something like this, right? And boom. But that's the thing. It's not guaranteed to get that, right? So if I got the launch, I instead just do the basic bread and butter route. Oh, whoops. Fucked it up. I don't... Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm not gonna be able to do it. YouTube curse. Anyway. You see what I'm talking about, right? Because I get the guaranteed damage off of this stuff versus just, oh, I drop the combo, I lose out on the damage. Now my opponent is much closer to the wall. Now I can start doing Fang's wall pressure, and now I can start doing wall combos. And now I just got like 83 points of damage. Now my opponent's back is to the wall, and they have to deal with Fang wall pressure, right? Boom. Boom. Look at all this damage. So look at the situation. Look at the situation you get when you finish a combo versus when you drop it, right? Obviously, one's a little bit better than the other. So that's why it's important to like practice the combo so you never drop them, right? Build it into muscle memory. Punishment we talked about. Controlling your... this is tough. There's so much stuff to do. It's hard to really say. But, you know, figure out what your fast tools are, right? Easily to disrupt your opponent. When the king was rushing at you, boop, boop. The king was rushing at you doing a bunch of shit, right? So learning fast disruption, like, oh, my opponent's running at me, let me do jabs, right? All right, let me do jabs. So every time the king is gonna be, you know, running at you, you go, all right, I just do a quick jab to disrupt them and make them second guess their offense, right? So then after you jab them enough times and they're slowing down their offense because they're like, okay, well, this guy, I keep getting hit, I have to rethink my timing. The goal should be to slow down the pace of the match so that way your opponent slows down, and then when they're scared, they're like, okay, let me quickly rethink my offense. The moment they pause their offense, you quickly just go, all right, offense, right? All that sort of stuff. Think about it when in the match when you knocked down the king, then you backed off and you didn't do anything. You just kind of stood there, right? Remember, there's always things you could be doing. At your stage, right, where you are at, offense is the name of the game. Just quickly going, oh, you paused, all right, offense. This move is very hard for people to deal with at the early stages. Against the people you're fighting, they're not going to know how to shut this down properly, right? Now, let's say he starts ducking, right? So let's have him... He starts low blocking, right? And finish. So he starts low blocking. Oh no, oh no, oh no. One, he's not very likely to punish you, right? And then you just go, boom, there's my mid from Corsica forward, right? There's a lot of things to be doing here. So, but look at how this stuff interacts. I start doing a low, my opponent starts ducking because or hop kicking, right? Let's doing whatever else. He doesn't know how to handle this move, and then you just go, here's my mid, right? You have to start recognizing the ebb and flow, right? When you start using one tool, the opponent will have to adjust what they're doing to deal with it, and then you use the other tool. A lot of tools will complement each other, right? If I start doing a bunch of lows like down back 3, and then my opponent blocked it, now I'm getting launched, that's not good. So then you just do your mid, right? And it doesn't always have to be the launcher, right? Now you can do like this mid is very good, right? Doing this on hit into the throw, very easy, right? Let's say, what's another mid you can do? You can just do back 4, right? And, shoulder if you want to. I wouldn't recommend throwing out random shoulders, but whatever. But you start to see what I'm talking about, right? Oh, I'm jabbing my opponent. They don't want me to jab, so they'll start ducking, right? And then you start doing your mids, or you do down forward 1, or corsical forward. You have a lot of options, right? Basic game plan. Do highs, do lows, poke your opponent out. When they start ducking or trying to challenge you, you can either block and then block punish, right? If he starts doing his hop kick, right? If king or any character starts doing their hop kick, you just wait, block it, and then punish. If they start ducking, you can start doing your mids, right? Very easy. You got this Hail Mary mid. Oh man, that is very fun when they oh, that's funny. It's very fun when they duck into 4-3-4. That's also something to, remember. Think about the flow of the game, right? I'm doing a lot of lows on my opponent, but all right, they're going to start ducking, so now I switch to the mids. Don't create this situation where you're just standing there and not doing anything, right? Think about how you can continue to play the game. Try and establish little goals for yourself. Okay, my opponent got back up. I'm not ready to approach them yet. Let me try to poke at them with down back 3, right? Or duck. Oh, right, sidestep. Down back 3, or then duck, and then do wall standing 3, or wall standing 4 for safety. Sidestep 2 to start setting up. There's always something to be doing. So look at your own gameplay and look like, okay, he slowed down the pace of the match. Look at what your opponent is doing. Was he just, oh, I'm just gonna press a bunch of buttons. Okay, that means I should wait a little bit and then look for an opportunity to punish. Or like the king, was he just waiting there? If he's just waiting there, you just go, okay, cool. I'm just gonna start doing this until you do something, right? Or if they start doing, ducking, you have a bunch of easy mid options to do. Man, I'm starting to ramble for no apparent reason. But you have to quickly just experiment and see, okay, my opponent does not know how to handle a move, so I'm just going to keep doing it till they die. A lot of opponents will not be able to handle just down corsical forward 1, right? Or down back 3, or if corsical forward 1 ends up being a counter hit launcher, like how to get your launches off of that. That's why, again, going back to combos, that's why combos are important. If I were a better player, I wouldn't be dropping this very easily. Huh, crazy. Right? It's why again, how everything interconnects, right? If I see my opponent is ducking, doing a hop kick, making sure I get the combo, if I was better. Right. If they're ducking and I get like a big poke, or if they're ducking and I know, all right, I know how to use shoulder. That's very fast, right? And look at the range on shoulder versus the range on hop kick, right? Hop kick, it's like, oh, it's my launcher, it's crazy. Or down 4-3, wow. Except look at this range, right? Versus when they're ducking and then you can just do shoulder. That's why it's very important to like understand your options, how these moves interact. Messing around in training mode, like, oh, wow, this move goes really far. I didn't realize it went that far. Or, wow, I like this move because it's my launcher, but the range is kind of whack, right? Or, wow, I didn't use that move from corsical forward, right? My roll dash. I should use that more often. So, experiment a bit in training mode so you can like learn some options, right? What the fuck is the combo? God, I could keep going, but now I'm starting to go into ramble territory. Anyway, let's look at some questions that you asked. I only know combos from sample combos in practice mode. Do you think that is enough? The answer is no. Basic combos in practice mode. What do they even have? What the fuck are the combos? Oh my god, his move list is so huge. Alright, I don't know where combos. Most likely not. Alright, for combos, go look at Core Jam. Always recommend Core Jam. Their videos are good production quality. They list a bunch of moves, the common launching situations, and they give you options, right? Here's the basic route, here's the advanced route, right? The harder route but more damage, or wall carrier, or whatever, right? Again, the thing to keep in mind is you don't need to do fancy shit. You just need to do what's consistent. Consistency is key, right? If I can do this crazy combo of whatever this is in training mode, right? That's cool. And then in the heat of the match, I just go, oh fuck, I fucked up the delay, and I just lose out on 40 points of damage. There's no point, right? This combo, just the basic ass 4-3-4 jab down forward 4-3. It might not be as fancy as the cool boy combo, right? But the whole point about it is I'm never dropping this if I actually seriously played Feng. Oh god. Right as I drop it. But again, consistency is key. Alright, do you blah blah blah. Oh my god, info overload. I'm probably gonna overload you on info. Whoops. I noticed I normally use down forward 1 more than jab strings like 1-2-2. Do you think I should use the latter more? Any jab string you recommend for spam pressure? I got used to spamming down forward 3 when using Shaheen, having a faster down forward 3. Okay, so the thing about it is that it's not about do I use this or do I use this, right? Do I use down forward 1 or do I use jab, right? They are tools that are supposed to work together. They're not supposed to be, oh, if, use jab, or oh, if you don't use jab, use down forward 1, right? Also, fuck this range. But there's a reason it's so good. Anyway. So the reason you want to use both, right, is because, one is a high and the other is a mid, right? And they supplement each other. They complement each other. When you start doing your highs, right, then the opponent will start ducking, and then you start doing your mids, and then they'll go, oh fuck, I don't want to eat mids, so then they'll go back to standing up. But then this down forward 1 is 14 frames, but when you're brawling up close, 14 frames is actually kind of slow, right? When you're brawling up close and trying to beat up your opponent, you don't always want a 14 frame move. Now, the benefit is that this is neutral on block, which is insane, but that's a whole different story. But, what's faster than 14? Oh, that's right, 10. 10 frames, 10. This is also 10. 10, 10. Wait, how far does this 2 go? No. This is 1's better. Anyway, 10 frames, the much faster, right? And then on block, your jabs give you +1, which is actually still important, right? Because if you go jab into jab, right, there is nothing the opponent can do from a standing position as long as it doesn't high crush, right? He can't suddenly go, oh, this Feng is jabbing me, let me do hop kick, right? Your jab will just float them, right? Let me try this. Boop, boop, boop. What's this down forward 1? All right, down forward 1, hop kick. Oh, whoops. Yeah, you see here? See how I immediately float him? That's what's likely going to happen to you if you mash hop kick, right? So that there are times when you really want a jab. Don't underestimate how powerful it is having a 10 frame tool to, mess with your opponent. Oh, whoops. Oh, wait, I can just do shoulder. Ah! Oh, whoops, I keep fucking up. Anyway, I don't want to, this is not a combo video. But you saw, right, what I'm talking about. Oh, my opponent's disrupting me. Boom, jab, very fast. And now the opponent has to do this. And if the opponent wants to do something about this, they have to duck, they have to commit to a low crush move, right? But all of those also have options because, right, so basic setup. I'm trying to jab. Let me do down forward 1 into this, right? Oh, whoops. Because they're like, all right, he's jabbed me every single time, right? And then I read that they're going to adjust for it. Oh, my jab's not working out. I see that they like to do this now. So then after, whoops. Easy game, right? So that ebb and flow of what I'm talking about. You figure out, I figured out, okay, this king likes to do a lot of down forward 1 into hop kick because I was doing a lot of lows, right? So then I'll start doing jabs, right? But then, oh, he started doing his lows. Okay, cool. So I'll just, same, on a read, I'll just do, all right, he's going to go for the low, right? There's a lot of context to these situations, but basically it boils back down to you figure out what option your opponent is using, you do your counter to that option, and then you see like, okay, do they adjust their game plan or do they, are they stubborn and they commit to their game plan, right? Sometimes they will commit. Even if I hop kick them 3 times in a row, they'll just keep doing the low, and that's fine because then you just go, okay, I see what game we're playing. I'm just going to keep doing my hop kick, right? So some situations you want to jab, some situations you want to down forward 1, right? To spam and apply pressure, just a simple jab, right? Simple jab leaves you +1. 1-2 is also really good because it gives you a lot of plus frames. Look at this range, right? This range is better than your fucking hop kick. Look at that fucking range. Oh my god, 1-2 is really good, right? But this move on block will leave you at -1, so boop, boop, boop. Yeah, -1 versus +1. And you think like, oh, it's +1. That's not a lot. You'd be surprised. Like, oh my god, look at how he's literally moving forward with his jab. God damn. Where's that jab for Paul? Give me this jab for Paul. Anyway, again, when we talked about it, those very fast situations. If I try to do 1-2 into jab, my opponent can then read that and then just beat me with jab, right? But if I do jab, jab, they have less options to counteract what I am doing. There are situations where you want to go 1-2 into jab, 1-2 into jab, and make the opponent want to retaliate against your 1-2, because then you can go, all right, you're going to try and challenge my jab with your jab, and then you do down back 3, stuff like that. But for pressure, just do this, and then you want to build up more pressure, you start doing your lows, right? Start doing your chip damage. I don't know if you played other fighters, right? But chip damage doesn't exist in Tekken because we can, just block, right? We can block to infinity and beyond. The way you get chip damage is you look at, all right, how long is my opponent stand blocking? Wow, they're stand blocking for a really long time. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing this and then do low. They can't just stand block this low, right? They'll start eating this damage. And do this enough times, and trust me, people will start feeling it. Can I crouch cancel? Oh no, I'm bad. But this is how you get your chip damage in, right? Down 2, down 4, down back, or down 3 plus 4, down back 3. Start building up your chip damage that way. So that is also a form of pressure. There's a lot of ways to apply pressure, but basically you figure out what's your plus on block option, right? Create frame traps, and then just create pressure that way, right? Super fast, easy plus on block option. Very important to learn how to use this tool effectively. You got used to spamming down forward 3. I mean, you could spam down forward 3 if you want as a Feng. This is a safe mid launcher. This shit's insane. The range is ass, so like, yeah, you got to be careful. But the thing about Feng is that, when you're super close, like, God, I don't think there's any character that can beat him at range 0, right? When you're super close and you're doing down back 3, while standing 1, and then people start ducking because they're expecting, so if I do like down back 3, while standing 1, down back 3, while standing 1, down back 3, while standing 1, and then you go down back 3, while standing 1, and then you go down forward 3 because they start ducking and anticipating. Like, after while standing 1, right, it is very unlikely that this move is going to whiff. This move is insane. Anyway, if you want, but for pressure, right? Quick, easy options for pressure is going to be jab. Your quick plus from situations, jab in the back 1 is really funny, but What is your plus on block option? What options are good whether it's on block or hit, right? Core circle for 1+2 is very good whether it's blocked or if it hits, right? Forward forward 3, I fucking love this move. It is very slow. You want to be careful, right? This is for when the opponent's just stand blocking you and standing still. They block it, cool, you're now +8. You can do whatever the fuck you want. If they don't block it and they eat it, they're now +8 and they're force crouched, right? The world is literal oyster, right? All right. Oh, they're stand blocking a lot, but I don't want to do a low. I don't want to do a low. That's cool. Feng's got a throw game, kinda. Right? This how do I do? How the fuck did I do? There we go. You know, Feng's throw game gets a lot more crazy when we talk about his back turn situation, but you know, don't worry about that. That's a story for a later time. I think I've already given you a lot of shit to talk about. What's the best keep out tool to use? Forward 4 back. Forward 4 Forward 4 back. This move has like negative recovery. Look at this. So you're like, oh, I'm feeling out my opponent. Let's throw this out there. And now you're back turn, and they're like, oh, I'm worried. Ooh, down back. Cancel out of that. Look at this. Look at this. You go super far forward. Look at the range on that, right? You go super... Holy shit. You go super far forward, and it's like, oh, it got blocked. All right, let me hold back, go to back turn, and then down back to escape back turn, right? Look at how this move can fuck people up. That's crazy. Ooh, come and get me. Oh, come and get me. Oh, you try to get me. Oh, let me finish the string. Oh. This move is so dumb. Yeah, so you want to talk about keep out? Oh baby, this is it. To some degree, right? You want to be careful. Like King will likely forward 2-1 you, so you want to be careful. Don't commit to it too much. But if you know the opponent can't deal with this very well, this is gonna fuck up some people. Or then end it in back turn, right? So then, ooh, try to get me. This is the funniest thing. Oh my god, oh my god, there's so much range. Anyway, yeah. So there's the keep out is difficult because there's a lot of options you can use for keep out, right? 1-2. This is very good keep out. Look at how far this advances Feng, right? This recovers very quickly, so it's very unlikely for your opponent. It's unlikely for your opponent to whiff punish you. I shouldn't say very unlikely. It's unlikely for your opponent to whiff punish you as hard as they would, right? So this is good keep out. If the remember I showed earlier. Oh, the opponent's running at me. All right, let me just do 1-2 and then disrupt them, right? Super fast. You can try this as keep out. I wouldn't recommend it. His mid keep out's kind of weird. Basically a hot cake if you want. Alright. Any bread and butter poking strategy you can advise? Just a template for me to work on. Does anybody answer this? Because I just realized I should have read more what the fuck people have told you. Average Joe talked about it, but it's basically for, you know, the thing about it, there's not really a bread and butter poking strategy, right? It's more about understanding the opponent you're facing and how that goes. Think about, okay, so let me give you, I'm just going to end the video with this. I'm going to talk about my general philosophy on poking, with Feng especially, and then we'll see. The less commitment, the better, right? You want to maximize your reward. You want to keep a decent level of reward, but maximize no commitment, right? Think, what do I mean by commitment? If I'm in a situation where I'm running around my opponent, right, and I have an option to do core circle forward 2, right? Some big, look at this big ass fancy move. He fucking launches you. Love this move, right? But this move is very slow. 20 it's really closer to like 24 frames, right? Anytime you see frame data in here with moves that come out of a core circle forward motion, you have to be very careful, right? So core circle, let's say like core circle forward 1. that move, the startup frame, doesn't take into account the roll dash, right? This move, just this move by itself, is a stance and adds startup to your moves, right? Core circle forward 1 is not simply 22 frames, right? It is just as likely to be, it is more likely to be like 24 frames when you have to take into account this, right? This move. And 20 plus frames is slow. When you're trying to brawl against your opponent, if they're not doing anything, yeah, go for it. But if you do this move, if you do this move, or even just the mid option, and your opponent throws out, like, let me go, jab into hop kick, right? Jab, and before I could even try to pretend that I was going for something, they hop kicks me, right? Because hop kick is 15 frames, and my 20 frame move is not going to beat 15 frames, right? Not when my opponent's at +1. So that's the other thing you got to consider. So what do I mean by low commitment, right? So instead of going for this all the time, like these core circle forward motions, I'll do something simple as just down back 3, or if I'm close enough, I'll do down 2. Fast, relatively fast, still 20 frames, but it high crushes. So if my opponent is doing a bunch of jabs, I go down 2, right? Down 2, boop, stay on the ground, down 2, while standing 1, down 2, hold back. There's a lot of options, but compare the two. This is still 20 frames, right? But there's a lot less, like, there's no startup to it. This is, I don't have a stance. I don't have to go into a stance. I just go boom, oh, boom, oh, do it again, boom, right? Or let's go jab, right? If I wanted a high move, right? I like this move. I like forward 4, but it's 18 frames, right? So instead I'll just do jab, right? Look, you have to kind of trial and error your way through this and build up that sense of, like, okay, I'm going to do jabs here. Oh, my opponent has slowed down enough. All right, core circle forward 1. Back to dancing back and forth. All right, let me do jab again. Jab again. Jab again. Okay, they're starting to duck. Shoulder. I wouldn't recommend shoulder. What's another powerful mid? Core circle forward 1+2. Basically, moves that don't leave you, that minimize your risk of getting interrupted, or if they block it, your opponent's going to punish you, right? I love launchers, right? But I'm not going to run up to my opponent unless I'm confident they're going to duck and start doing hop kicks, because just doing hop kicks, right, it's risky. What if they don't duck? If I'm not confident they're going to duck, I'll just do down forward 1. This is much less risk involved, right? So think about it, basically just, you go, okay, what move do I like to use? I like using down 2 and down back 3, right? Down back 3 has some risk involved to it, but it's a lot more difficult to block than people would have you believe, right? The shit is unseeable. It's insane. Anyway. Oh yeah, isn't this like a counter launcher now? Crazy. So, or, oh, wall standing 4. Wall standing 4, magic 4, right? What's this magic 4 combo? Huh, interesting. The idea should basically be, it goes back into understanding how the options interact with each other, right? If I'm poking around, I want to use down back 3 for some pressure, some chip damage, and start using jabs, start using mids, and basically when I start using enough down back 3, I see, oh, they're starting to duck, right? I'll start doing this, I'll start doing back 4, right? Start doing core circle forward 1+2, right? It's all about the ebb and flow of how these moves interact. And then from there, you go, oh, I'm going to, switch it up based on how my opponent's reacting. They start ducking, do a mid. They stop ducking, do your highs and lows. I should have just said that. Oh, God. All right, so I'm rambling a lot. I'm going to cut it off here because I have no idea how much of this is really going to make sense to you. And, oh, God, I should have made this shorter. But, yeah, man, just let me know what you think. Let me know what questions you have. Here, it's me trying to give you, like, hey, here's a basic understanding of how Tekken works. Okay. If you have any more questions, yeah, feel free to ask in the Discord. Everybody's super helpful on Feng channel. They'll answer whatever questions you got. All right, have a good one, man.